This video is going to be an overview of the care plan options in the Edge. We are using version 20.2.8, which was released on November 3rd. There are some new options in here, so if you have an older version, you may not see some of these things. The care plan video is going to be the same no matter which provider you're using. There are going to be slight differences in the provider. I will point them out as we go through the video. The first thing we're going to talk about is licensing and setup. In order to use care plans, you'll need to speak to your provider. Once you sign up, they will send your ID to the Edge offices. The Edge will create a new license with that and send you an email. You can load your license from that email, or if you do not have the email or you just want to do it through the Edge, you can go to Help, check for updates. And what you're looking to install to get them activated is the license update. Once that license is installed, you will now have the options to use care plans in the Edge. The first thing we're going to look at is the system options. There are a couple system options for care plans. Depending on what provider you're using, you may have the option to change the price on the care plans. If you do have the option to change the price on your care plans, the system option asks you, how would you like them to do that? Would you require an override, which means a manager will have to come over and put their ID and password to get past it? Permission check, which means if that's selected, each associate will have the option to have a permission checked that says discount care plans. No discounting, which will not allow them to discount, or no permission checks, which will let them change it and not ask for any permission. Care plan max return period. The maximum number of days that can pass before a care plan can no longer be returned. Depending on your provider, most likely that's 30 days. So if they return the item within 30 days, they get a full refund of the care plan. After 30 days, you can return the item, but they will have to contact the provider and they will get a prorated return on the care plan. The last system option is the POS reminder. If you have care plans turned on and you're using them, and someone doesn't include a care plan on the sale, when they try to finish the sale, it will pop up a box. The default is it will ask, did you talk to the customer about a jewelry care program? And there's a yes or no question. You could change the wording on that pop-up reminder here. So those are the three system options for care plans. Under associates, so administrative associates lists, I'm going to go to security. There are three securities for care plans. One is administer care plans. Administer care plans means they can go in and make adjustments to the care plan pricing and the care plan tasks. Discount care plans at point of sale. If they have that checked, they'll be able to change the price at point of sale for a care plan. Again, this is going to be based on the provider that you're using. And the last permission is to run the care plan report. There is a report built in for care plans which show you what's happening with them. If they have that option checked, they will be able to run those reports. Once you've set your security, you're going to save that. And now that person will be able to do what you've allowed them to. The last thing to do for setup for care plans is under administrative. Under administrative, there's a care plan administration. The first time you ever come in here to work with care plans, you want to go to care plan check for updates. You also may need to do that if you've changed the terms on the care plans that you carry. So if your provider has a 3 and a 5, and in the beginning you decided just to carry the 3, you've added the 5-year plan onto your account, you'll need to go in and update and download those new terms. Once that's done, you click OK like I did. And now when you're in care plan, there's 3 other things. There's care plan pricing. Care plan pricing will show you the pricing for each type of care plan that you carry. the term, and the type. There'll also be a range of price, and it will show you the retail and the cost that you're going to pay for that care plan. Again, depending on your care plan provider, you may have to enter your manual costs. And if your care plan provider allows you to, you'll be able to change the actual retail price on the care plan. Whichever care plan programs you're carrying will show up on the list. Once you've made changes, you're going to save and close, and now you've updated your care plan pricing or costs. You cannot remove or add care plans there. That's done through your provider. And once they've updated your account on their side, you would do the check for updates, and that would bring in the new care plans for you. Also, when you do check for updates, it will bring in the repair SKUs for your care plan provider. These are the SKUs that you're going to use at point of sale for the tasks that you're doing on items that are covered under the care plan. All of these tasks will have no retail price for the customer. So if you were sizing a ring larger, if we look at this, when we go to the pricing tab, you'll see that there is no pricing. There is a cost. That is what, not a cost, but that is what you're going to get paid by your provider to do this service. So again, the care plan tasks are brought in when you check for updates on your care plan. The last thing under care plans under administrative is care plan upload. If you do the care plan upload data, that will send care plan information from the edge to the server. This is normally done automatically on a schedule, but for any reason you need to send it up, you can hit upload and it will send your information up to your provider's server. So that is the setup and licensing of care plans. The next thing we're going to talk about is care plan incentives. That is going to be on the associate's record. So we're going to go back to administrative, associate list. I'm going to bring up one of my associates and I'm going to go to the commission tab. The commission tab, once you have care plans turned on, will have a new section for commissions on care plans. Commissions on care plans could be either a flat rate. If you choose that, it is a flat rate. It will charge $5. You could also do percentage of price. So if the care plan sells for $100 and you have a 7% incentive, they will get $7 when they sell that care plan. We're going to go through and just set a couple of these. And you can mix them, so you can have flat rates and percentages. And it looks like I got everyone set. And that is how you would do it. These incentives will show on the commission report like any other commission. So your care plan incentives are either a percentage of price that the care plan sells for or a flat rate. If you have care plans active in your system, this is how you sell a care plan on a regular item. You're going to start by going to point of sale. And like any other transaction, you're going to choose your associate. You're going to choose your customer. And you're going to sell an item. Now, normally you could just scan your item. It'll come up. You could also hit sell item and choose the item that you want or type the number. I'm going to go ahead and sell my item. Anytime you're selling an item that has the ability of including a care plan, the care plan will drop down. When you look at that, it will give you your options for care plans, the ones that you carry. The care plan is based on the selling price. If this selling price was higher, So if we look at the lifetime, it's $209.99. If for whatever reason I was selling this for $2,000, when I go to lifetime, it's now $299. So it is all based on the selling price of the item. If you want to include a care plan, you would check the care plan that you want. You'd select it. As soon as you select it, it does include a checkbox that says I'm including a care plan. Depending on how your taxes are set up, it may or may not charge tax. That is one of the system options for care plans. One of the tax options for care plans. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and pay for this. And I'm going to say done. I'm going to preview my receipt. And what you will get is you will get your sold item and your sold care plan. A subtotal, tax, and total. And now this item in the Edge, anytime you use it in a repair, will automatically let you know that there is a care plan involved. So selling a care plan is very simple. When you bring an item that will allow a care plan to be sold on it, you'll automatically get a drop-down that will show you the plans that apply to that and what the price is. Selling a care plan on a loose stone and a semi-mount. In the newest version of the Edge, which is version 20.2.8, which was released on November 3rd, there's a new option called Join. Join was added so you can join multiple items on a sale into one final piece. That one final piece will be the piece that shows up on the history for the customer, and that is the piece that is going to go as the care plan piece. To do this, we're going to go to point of sale just like normal. We're going to choose our sales associate, and we're going to choose our customer. You're going to add your individual items to the sale. So I'm going to sell a loose stone. And I'm going to sell a semi-mount. So I have those two. Now you'll notice just the way this is, the care plan only shows up on the semi-mount. We cannot put a care plan on a loose stone. You can't repair a loose stone. What we're going to do is we're going to make this one item. Doesn't matter which item you start on, you're going to hit the More button and you're going to hit the Create Joined Item. Whichever item you clicked on, that's the item that will be added to the join first. Brings over whatever price you had set on that individual item. Bottom left-hand corner, there's an add items from POS. We'll show the rest of the items on point of sale. So I want to add it with the semi-mount. So now I have my two prices and I have my total selling price. If I want to say that the ring, once I set it together, is actually going to be worth $7,000, I can change the replacement value, which will not affect the selling price. If I want to change any individual selling prices for these, I could say that I want to sell this for $4,000 and I want to sell the next one for $2,400. So now my selling price is $6,400, but my replacement value is $7,000. They need to choose their vendor, which has to be their My Brand, so one of their vendors, and what the end result's going to be. This is going to be a diamond engagement ring. When I hit suggest, it will try to build a description based on these two things. I could choose which one I like, and once I do that, I can also still update that description. I can take a new picture for this item by going to acquire. In this case, if I wanted to be the main one, I could do acquire default, and that will be the main picture. Once I'm happy that this is correct, I would hit save items. And now we get one line, which is the new joined item, which is an engagement ring. If I had taken a new picture, that's the picture that would have showed here. You cannot change the price once you combine them. You can go back to more and say modify and make any adjustments. Now, just like any other item, I can choose my care plan. I would pay for that care plan or that sale. And again, when I hit done, I am going to get a receipt that shows an engagement ring was sold with a care plan. Shows the replacement value because that's what we're basing the care plan on, and then shows the price that they paid. So that's how you can sell separate inventory items at point of sale, but add a care plan to the finished piece. Selling a care plan on a custom item. In version 20.2.8 or higher, which was released on November 3rd, when you finish a custom job, you have the option of creating an item for that custom job. If you have that turned on, you will be able to sell care plans on custom items. To do this, you go to point of sale. You would start your sale as normal, choosing your associate and your customer. You would go to pickup, and you would find the custom item that you want to pick up. The custom job will come up as the pickup, showing the pricing and everything else. You will get a second line for the item that was created when the custom item was completed. The care plan is going to be based on not the price you're selling the job for, but the value that was set on the care plan, the custom item. So the care plan is going to be based on $3,800, which is the declared value. If you have the security, you can change that price. And now the care plan will be based on $4,500 instead of $3,800. Just like all other care plans, you would choose the care plan you'd like. It will check the box, add the price. Depending on your system options, it will either tax or not tax that care plan. When they pay for it, the receipt will show the care plan pickup and will show the custom pickup and the care plan being sold. So here's our custom job showing the money that was being paid. Here is the custom item, which has no payment on it, but it does have a declared value. And then we have our care plan that is based on that declared value. That item will now show up on the customer's history and can be used in repairs from this point forward. So if you are using the newest version or a version after November 3rd, you now have the option to create custom items and sell care plans on those custom items. Using care plans and repairs. If you are selling care plans through the edge, when you have a customer at point of sale who is bringing in an item, and that item has a care plan on it, you are going to check your care plan portal to make sure that the work you're doing is going to be approved. But when you're adding it into the edge, if you didn't know there was a care plan, when you go into repair intake, if it's something they bought from you, you're going to go to item and choose bought. This is a list of everything that they've bought from you. If you choose any item, doesn't matter whether it's a custom, joined, or stock. If you choose an item from this list and the item has a care plan on it, it will let you know that right away. If it's lifetime, it'll say lifetime. If it's a termed care plan, it will give you the expiration date so you know how long you have that this item will be covered. At this point, if you didn't already, you would check to make sure that the work you're doing is being covered. As long as it is, you're then going to enter your tasks. Even if you're not using tasks for anything else, you will always have tasks for care plans. So if I go into Find SKU and I choose care plan, all of my care plan tasks will be there. So if I was retipping this, I would choose prongs. And if it's just retipping, I would choose retipping. No price ever comes up to the customer because they're not paying for this. If I was retipping for prongs, I could do that. I'd give them an ETA. There is no deposit because there's no money due. And when we finish out the sale, it will print a receipt for the customer showing they left the item for drop-off and the repair envelope. Both the receipt and the repair will clearly show that this is covered by care plan. So as long as you are using the bought under items when taking in a repair, you'll always know if a care plan is on the particular item. And if you are doing care plan work, be sure to always choose one of the care plan tasks. Care plan report. There is a report built specifically for care plans. To find that, we would go to Reports. We would go to Management. And we would go to Care Plans. You have multiple things that you can filter by. You can filter by the date the care plan was sold, what type of care plan it is, the customer that you sold the care plan to, the item the care plan was attached to, the associate that sold the care plan, the store a care plan was sold at. So those are all your options. You also can group by. So if you're running this for a bigger period to see how well care plans are doing, you can group it by the date it was sold, the year it was sold, the customer's ID, the care plan term, 1, 3, 5, lifetime, care plan status, active or expired, sales associate, item category, or item type, ring, bracelet, earring. If you choose a grouping, you can also do a page break. So if I want to do it by associate, I can say page breaks, and I'll get one page for each associate. If I want, I can include the item details on the report. If I don't, it only talks about the care plan. I can show the cost if I want to, or I could leave that blank and it'll just show what it sold for. Once I've set up my filter the way I'd like to, I can click OK. Once my report finishes running, I ran mine by associate. So my first page is just for Tom, and it shows me the care plans that Tom sold. So it shows me the customer, the sale, the date, who sold it, the care plan name, the term, the status, the retail, and the cost because I included cost. Also, because I included the item information, it will show the item that the care plan is on. And then it will give me a grand total for Tom. It will do that for each associate that sold care plans. The last page will also have the grand total. Just like other reports in the Edge, depending on what you group by, you will be able to get total subtotals for them. And anything that has information behind it, like the item that I just clicked on, will bring you to the item record. So as long as you're using care plans, you'll have the option of running the care plan report. The Edge has dashboards in the system, which are kind of like live reports. And there are certain tiles on those dashboards that are strictly for care plans. So let's take a look at those. So under dashboards, I've created 3 dashboards that contain all of the different tiles for the care plans. When I click on this first dashboard, it's going to come up with the tiles that I've had created for this particular one. When you're on a dashboard, they have a period up here. These are structured periods. They have to choose one. We're going to look at this week. There are 3 types of data tiles. There's numeric tiles, which just give you a number, a dollar amount, or a percentage. There are gauges, which can be horizontal line, a semicircle, or a circle. The difference with gauges is gauges let you set goals. Those goals can be daily, weekly, or monthly because that's what you can look at in the periods. And it will tell you what percentage you're at your goal. And then there are charts. Charts can be a pie chart, a bar chart, or a donut chart. There'll be a donut chart coming up that I'll show you. And they will plot multiple sets of data. So the first one we'll talk about is the numeric ones. So there's 4 numeric tiles for care plans. There's one that tells you the number of care plans sold in the period, the dollar amount that those care plans were sold for, the average profit for those care plans, and the care plan attachment ratio. So 64% of everything we did had a care plan attached to it. Those are the numeric tiles. The gauge tiles, again, there are 4, and some of them are the same as the numerics. So number of care plans. The difference here is that you can set a goal. So my goal for the week is 50. We've sold 9. We're at 18% of our goal. Dollar amount. You'll notice again, these are the same. So it's telling me what the current dollar amount is, but my goal for the week is $7,500. So I'm at 34% of my goal. Care plan profit. This is the actual profit we've made so far based on what we sold for care plan. Our goal for the week is $1,500, so we're at 85% of that goal. And then average care plan profit. So again, that number is the same as the numeric tile, but you can set a goal if you want to say our goal for average care plan profit is $150, and it would let you know what percentage you're at. So those are the 4 gauge tiles that we have for care plans. There are 10 graph tiles for care plans or charts. So the first 2 are here. The first one I'm looking at is the number of care plans by associate. So again, the number of care plans is still the same. If you add all these up, you end up with 9. But what this is showing you is who is selling them. So John sold 3, Tom sold 2, Sally sold 3, and Jane sold 1. With our chart tiles, if you do put your arrow over any of the sections, it will tell you the data for that section. The next one we have is the dollar amount of care plans by associate, and this one's plotted as a bar chart, so it tells you how much each associate has sold in care plans. So that's my first set. When we go to our second set, you're going to see that this dashboard actually only has 4 tiles, and they are 4 charts. So the next chart is percentage of care plans by associate. So John and Sally have each sold 33% of our care plans for the period. And this one's considered a donut chart. Number of care plans by category. It will break down the care plans that we sold and show by category. So we can see real quickly that diamond engagement rings have the most care plans sold on them. Care plan dollar amount by category. So where we're making our money based on the categories when we sell care plans. And again, diamond engagement rings, which is the place we sold the most, has the most dollars coming in. Percentage of care plans by category. So this is showing you just like our associates, but now it's breaking it down by category. So again, 67% of all of our care plans for this period are coming from engagement rings. So those were the next 4. So that's 6 chart tiles so far for care plans. And our last 4 are going to be on the last dashboard I created. And again, this is going to be 4 charts on this particular one. We have dollar of care plan profit by associate. So how much each associate has brought in care plans. So Sally has brought the most. Jim and her both sold 3, but Sally's were more expensive. Care plan attachment by associate. So Jane, every item she sold, she had a care plan on it. When we get down to Tom, 33% of his had care plans on it. Care plan attachment by category. So again, every category of items that we sold, and it will show what the percentage is. So every engagement ring we sold had a care plan. Every colored stone pendant had a care plan. My charms, only half of them did. My colored stone rings, only half of them did. my category 140 and category 160, which is semi-mounts and diamond bracelets, none of them had care plans. And then lastly, care plan attachment by vendor. So we'll show you what the percentage is by vendor. So those are the different tiles that you have for care plans on dashboards. Automated tasks for care plans. Automated tasks was added in the first release of 2020. Automated tasks allow you to create follow-up tasks based on something that happens in the edge. The ones that apply to care plans are going to be when a care plan is sold or when a repair is picked up with a care plan SKU on it. We'll look at both of those. So all of automated tasks are created under administrative tasks automation rules. You're going to add a rule and you're going to name it. So if this rule is going to be every time a care plan is sold, we want to set a reminder to the associate to call them in 5 months to get it in for clean and check. So we're going to call this care plan initial clean and check. When do you want this to happen? Well, you're selling a care plan at a sale, so when a sale is committed is the initial sale. So we're going to do sale committed. What is the trigger? When a care plan is sold. If we just leave it as that, it will create a task every time a care plan is sold. We can select a trigger or a filter, and that can be items. So only when a care plan is sold on an engagement ring, only when a care plan is sold on items that are over $1,000. You could filter the items that are kicking off this particular trigger. I'm going to leave it blank and say every time I sell a care plan. Then it wants to know, who should the task be for? Well, I want my associate that sold it to follow up. So it's going to be the primary associate. You could choose a specific associate, or you can make it anyone, which will show on the calendar for that day and says someone needs to call. Will not filter to one particular associate. How many days out will this task be created? We're always going to do it on due date. If there's a range, you could do it on start date, but 90% of what we're doing here is a due date. Call them on this day. Then you have the option of the number of days or number of months. So if I want them to call in 5 months to say, hey, next month you need to bring this in, or if I want them to call in 5.5 months, I could use a number of days. So if I was to do that, I could choose something like 165 days. So the task will be there 15 days before that customer should be coming in to do that. If you want to start and due date, you can set the time range in between the two of them. I'm not going to do that. Subject. Call customer for initial clean and check. If I have a script that I want them to use, I could put that in here. I don't have to put details if I don't want to. I can set a category, whether it's inventory, customer, vacation, cleaning, website, whatever it may be. This is more of a follow-up, or it's actually for calling them a repair, so I could choose what I want it to be. Priority, medium's good. And when they do close this task, do I want them to put notes? If I do, I can check that box. Now, what's going to happen is that rule is set. So the very next time someone sells a care plan, they will automatically get a task set up on the calendar to follow up. The other way to do this is when a repair is picked up. So the initial one says, hey, come in 6 months. I can also say every time a care plan is brought in for this task, or every time an item is brought in for this task, I want to follow up. So care plan repair follow-up. So every single time a customer comes in with a care plan covered repair, I want my associate to follow up a week later and make sure everything is good. So on that, we're going to filter based on repairs. And we're going to trigger it when a repair is picked up. But now we only want the ones that apply to care plans. Even if you're not using tasks for anything else, there's always going to be care plan tasks. So my filter is going to be on SKUs, and when I open that, I'm going to have a section that's called care plan. I can narrow it to a particular one, or I could say just anytime a care plan SKU is used. So if I click OK on that, again, I want my associate who took it in to follow up. I want a due date, and I want them to follow up in 7 days. Care plan repair follow-up. Again, I have details if I want. I can make that a follow-up. And I can say I want notes. Now, anytime a care plan is sold or a care plan SKU is picked up, it will create a task. So we're going to just go ahead and sell an item. And we're selling it using Nancy Gem. And what we'll do is we will go and look up on the calendar to see that task. So we're going to sell something. And we're going to sell a care plan on it. And if you watch in the bottom right-hand corner, it is going to automatically create the task. And you actually might not see it the way my system's recording, but it'll create a follow-up task for the repair. Now I have a lot of tasks set, so a lot of them came up. But now, 165 days from today, a task was created for Nancy to follow up. If I want to look at that, what I can do is I can go to the calendar. And at first, it's going to bring me up today because it always comes up to today on the calendar. But I'm going to say I only want the stuff for Nancy. And once it narrows down to Nancy's calendar, we are going to go ahead and change our month to April. And we'll look at this by the month. There it is. It was actually in not April, but March. So if I look at her task, Nancy Gem, call for CC reminder. If I open that up, it is attached directly to the customer. It's attached directly to the sale. It's attached directly to the service also. So everything is right from here, so I can see everything that's going on. I can make my phone call and say, hey, don't forget, you need to bring that in for clean and check. So if you are using care plans, you also have access to automated tasks based on when a care plan is sold or when a care plan task is picked up through repairs.